My name is Marcus, and I spent 6 years as a patrol officer in rural Montana before I quit the force. What I'm about to tell you happened 3 years ago, on a night shift that still keeps me awake. People always ask cops what the scariest thing they've ever seen is. They expect stories about violent criminals or dangerous chases. But the truth, sometimes the most terrifying encounters are the ones that don't make any sense at all. This is one of those stories. It was late October, around 2:47 a.m. I remember the exact time because I checked my watch when the call came through. Dispatch reported a stranded vehicle on Route 89, about 12 miles outside of town. No emergency, just someone who'd run out of gas and needed assistance. Simple enough, right? The road out there is desolate. Nothing but farmland, dense forest, and the occasional abandoned barn. Cell service is spotty, which is why people still call 911 when they're stuck. I radioed in that I was responding and started the drive. The November wind was brutal that night. It howled against my cruiser, shaking the windows. My headlights barely cut through the fog rolling across the highway. About 10 minutes in, I spotted the vehicle. It was an old blue sedan, parked on the shoulder with its hazard lights blinking weakly. I pulled up behind it, flipped on my overhead lights, and grabbed my flashlight. Standard procedure. Approach with caution, check the plates, make contact with the driver. But as I walked closer, something felt wrong. The car was running, engine humming, headlights on, but there was no one inside. I shined my light through the driver's side window. The keys were still in the ignition. A purse sat on the passenger seat, phone plugged into the charger. A half-eaten sandwich on the dashboard, like someone had just vanished mid-bite. I tried the door. Unlocked. "Hello," I called out, scanning the area with my flashlight. "This is the police. If you need help, call out." Nothing. Just the wind and the hum of that engine. I checked the registration. Vehicle belonged to a woman named Claire Hofstetter, 34 years old, local address. No warrants, no red flags. I radioed dispatch, gave them the plate number, and told them the situation. They told me to wait for backup. Officer Reynolds was 20 minutes out. 20 minutes. I should have listened, but I was trained to search the area, make sure no one was hurt or in danger. So I started walking the perimeter. That's when I heard it. A voice. Faint, coming from the woods. "Help, please." It was a woman's voice. Weak, desperate. I turned my flashlight toward the trees. "Ma'am, Claire, I'm a police officer. Where are you? Help me. I'm so cold." The voice was moving, deeper into the forest. Every instinct told me not to follow, but I'm a cop. Someone was in trouble, so I went in. The fog was thicker in the trees. My flashlight barely penetrated it. Branches clawed at my uniform. The ground was uneven, roots trying to trip me with every step. "Keep talking," I shouted. "I'm coming to you. Please hurry." I pushed forward, heart pounding. The voice was leading me deeper. And then, I found her. She was standing in a clearing, about 30 feet ahead. Blonde hair, pale skin, wearing a thin jacket. She had her back to me. "Claire," I called out. "Are you okay?" She didn't move. "Ma'am, I'm Officer Marcus Taylor. I'm here to help you." Slowly, she turned around, and that's when I saw her face. It wasn't right. Her eyes were completely black. Not just the pupils, the entire eye. And her mouth, it was stretched too wide, like someone had carved a smile into her face. "Thank you for coming," she said, but her lips didn't move. I stumbled backward, hand going to my weapon. "Stay where you are." She started walking toward me. Not fast, just steady, mechanical. "We've been waiting for someone," she said. That voice coming from everywhere and nowhere. "It gets so lonely out here." I turned and ran. Branches tore at my face. My flashlight beam bounced wildly. Behind me, I could hear footsteps, too many footsteps, crashing through the undergrowth. I burst out of the trees, sprinting for my cruiser. I didn't look back. I threw myself into the driver's seat, slammed the door, and locked it. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely grip the radio. Dispatch, I need backup now. Route 89, mile marker. That's when I saw her, standing right in front of my cruiser, illuminated by my headlights, staring at me with those black eyes. Reynolds arrived 11 minutes later. By then, she was gone. The sedan was still there, engine running, purse on the seat. They searched the woods for hours. Found nothing. No Claire Hofstetter. No footprints but mine. The car was registered to a woman who'd been dead for 7 years. Died in a crash on that exact stretch of road. I put in my resignation 2 weeks later. Told them it was stress. Family reasons. But the truth is, I still see her sometimes. In my rearview mirror, standing on the side of dark roads. Always watching. Always smiling. Some calls you just shouldn't answer. My name is Sarah, and I worked as a police officer in suburban Ohio for 8 years. I've responded to countless wellness checks in my career. Usually, it's nothing serious, concerned family members, elderly neighbors who haven't been seen in a while. Most of the time, people are fine, just busy, or asleep. But there was one wellness check that still haunts me. It was the call that made me realize some doors should never be opened. It was a Thursday afternoon in March. Dispatch sent a check on a man named Robert Finch, 62 years old. His daughter had called, worried because he hadn't answered his phone in 3 days. Missed a doctor's appointment. Wasn't responding to emails. She lived out of state and couldn't check on him herself. She gave us a key, which she'd mailed to the station that morning. Address was in a quiet neighborhood. Nice houses, well-maintained lawns. The kind of place where nothing bad ever happens. I arrived around 2:30 p.m. The house was a 2-story colonial, beige with white trim. The lawn was overgrown. Newspapers piled on the porch. Curtains drawn on every window. I knocked. Mr. Finch, this is Officer Diaz with the police department. Your daughter asked us to check on you. No answer. I knocked again louder. Mr. Finch, I'm coming inside. I used the key his daughter had sent. The door swung open with a long, slow creak. The smell hit me immediately. Not decomposition. I've smelled that before. This was different. Stale air, mildew, and something sweet and chemical, like cleaning products mixed with something rotting underneath. Mr. Finch, I called out, hand resting on my weapon. Police department. The house was dark, every curtain drawn tight. I flipped on my flashlight and stepped inside. The living room was wrong. Furniture pushed against the walls, empty space in the center, and on the floor, symbols, drawn in what looked like black marker. Circles, strange writing, geometric patterns I didn't recognize. They covered the entire floor, wall to wall. I radioed for backup, told dispatch I had a potentially unstable individual, and requested another unit. But I couldn't just leave. I had to make sure he wasn't hurt or in danger. I moved deeper into the house. The kitchen was worse. Every cabinet open, every drawer pulled out, food rotting on the counter, and more symbols, this time carved into the wooden table with something sharp. Mr. Finch, if you can hear me, I need you to respond. That's when I heard it. Scratching, coming from upstairs. I climbed the stairs slowly, every board groaning under my weight. The scratching got louder, frantic, like nails on wood. It was coming from the bedroom at the end of the hall. The door was closed. I pressed my ear against it. Mr. Finch, are you in there? The scratching stopped. Then a voice. Low, raspy. Don't. Open. The door. My blood went cold. Sir, I need to verify you're okay. Please, he whispered. Don't let it out. Don't let what out? Me. I should have waited for backup, but I was worried he might be hurt, might have barricaded himself in during a mental health crisis. I turned the handle. The door opened. The room was empty, completely empty. No furniture, no bed, just bare walls and more of those symbols, covering every inch, floor to ceiling. And in the center of the room, a mirror, full length, ornate frame, old looking like an antique. I stepped closer, flashlight beam shaking, and that's when I saw him, Robert Finch, in the mirror, but not in the room. He was standing right behind my reflection, his face gray and sunken, eyes hollow. His mouth was moving, screaming something I couldn't hear. I spun around. Nothing there. I looked back at the mirror. He was closer now, hands pressed against the glass from the inside, mouth wide open in a silent scream. And then he pointed. Behind me. I felt it before I saw it. Cold breath on the back of my neck. I didn't think. I just ran. Down the stairs, through the living room, out the front door. I didn't stop until I was back at my cruiser, shaking so hard I could barely hold my radio. Backup arrived 4 minutes later. We went back in together. The mirror was gone. The bedroom was fully furnished. Bed, dresser, nightstand. Everything normal. And Robert Finch was in the bed, dead. The coroner estimated he'd been dead for at least a week. They ruled it natural causes. Heart failure. But I saw the scratches on his fingers. The symbols carved into the floor under the rug they found. And I saw what was in that mirror. I requested to never be sent on wellness checks again. Because sometimes the person you're checking on isn't the one in danger. It's you. My name is David, and I used to be a highway patrol officer in Nevada. Used to be. I'm telling you this story because I need someone else to know what happened that night. I need someone to understand why I can't ever put that uniform on again. This happened 14 months ago on a stretch of desert highway between Reno and Las Vegas. It was supposed to be a routine traffic stop. It was anything but. It was 11:38 p.m. on a Friday. Light traffic, clear skies. I'd been on shift for 6 hours and was looking forward to getting home. That's when I clocked a black SUV, doing 95 and a 70. No plates visible, heavily tinted windows. I hit my lights and pulled them over at mile marker 54. Middle of nowhere. Nothing but sand, scrub brush, and darkness for miles in every direction. The SUV pulled over immediately. No resistance. Just slowed down and stopped on the shoulder. Standard stop. Or so I thought. I ran the plates. Well, I tried to. System came back with an error. No record found. That was unusual, but not unheard of. Could be a new vehicle. Registration just hadn't updated yet. I approached the driver's side window, flashlight in hand. Evening. License and registration, please. The window rolled down slowly, and the smell that came out of that car. God, the smell. It was like roadkill. Like something dead had been sitting in the desert sun for days. The driver was a man, maybe 40, maybe older. Hard to tell. He was wearing sunglasses. At night. And he didn't turn to look at me. Just stared straight ahead. License and registration, I repeated. Of course, officer, he said. His voice was flat. No emotion. No inflection. He reached for the glove box. That's when I saw his hand. The skin was gray, mottled, and there were stitches. Thick, black stitches running up his wrist and disappearing under his sleeve. My training kicked in. Possible for a drug user. Track marks. Could be under the influence. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Is there a problem, officer? Just step out of the vehicle, please. He complied. Slowly, mechanically, and when he stood up, he was tall. Too tall. At least 6'8", maybe taller. His movements were stiff, like his joints didn't bend quite right. I need you to stand by the back of your vehicle. He walked past me, and that's when I saw inside the SUV. There was someone in the back seat. A woman, head down, long dark hair covering her face. Ma'am, I called out. Are you all right? She didn't move. Sir, who was that in your vehicle? My wife, he said, still not looking at me. I need to check on her welfare. Ma'am, can you hear me? No response. I opened the back door. She was cold. Not cool. Cold. Like she'd been in a freezer. I grabbed her shoulder, tilted her head back. Her eyes were sewn shut. Thick black stitches, just like his hand. And her mouth. Her lips were stitched together too. Step away from the vehicle. I shouted, weapon drawn. Hands where I can see them. The man turned. Slowly. And that's when I saw his face clearly. His mouth was stitched shut too. But it was moving. Opening impossibly wide behind the stitches. Threads pulling tight. Tearing at the corners. You shouldn't have stopped us, officer. A voice said. But it didn't come from him. It came from everywhere. The woman in the back seat sat up. Her eyes were still sewn shut, but her head turned directly toward me. We have miles to go yet, she said, voice like grinding metal. I fired. 3 shots, center mass. The man didn't flinch. He just took a step forward. Then another. I kept firing. Every round hit, but he kept coming. I ran back to my patrol car, screaming into my radio. Officer needs assistance. Shots fired. Mile marker 54. I threw the car in reverse, tires screaming. The SUV's engine roared to life. No one was in the driver's seat, but it was moving. It came after me. I floored it backward, reached the highway, spun around, and took off. 110 miles an hour. 120. The SUV kept pace. It was right behind me. High beams flooding my car with light. I could see them in my rearview mirror. Both of them. The man and the woman. Sitting in the front seats now. Staring at me. Mouths moving behind their stitches. I saw lights ahead. Another patrol car. Officer Mendez responding to my call. The SUV fell back. Slower. And slower. And then it just stopped. Right in the middle of the highway. When Mendez and I went back to check on it, it was empty. No driver. No passenger. No bodies. Just that smell. And wet footprints leading off into the desert. Footprints that ended after 20 feet. Like they just walked into nothing. They found the SUV registered to a couple who died in a car accident in 2003. Same stretch of highway. Same mile marker. I handed him my badge 3 weeks later. I couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't patrol that highway, knowing what might pull over next, knowing what might still be out there. I still drive that route sometimes. During the day, never at night, and I never stop. Not for anything. Because some people aren't looking for help when they pull over. They're looking for someone to take with them. 3 officers. 3 encounters that shattered everything they thought they knew about their job. If you've ever had a disturbing experience with law enforcement, or if you are in law enforcement and have a story to share, leave it in the comments below. And remember, not everything that wears a human face is human. Stay safe out there.